Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. Y'all, I'm just popping out here for a few minutes and I thought I would turn on the camera just so that you can see, this is the real life of when you have a garden, you're trying to protect your crops from the weather. I don't know if you can see, but if you look at the top of the tunnel, that's the snow that's on top of the tunnel. Tonight it's going to get down to, I think, 12 degrees. So we're coming out here just to do some extra precautionary steps to make sure that the things are going to be okay. So I'm going to actually set you down so we can move quickly, and then I'll come back and talk to you about what we're doing. Okay, so this row right here, guys, the one that he's about to cover, is what have the new broccoli plants in there. They're small. They're not mature. They've only been in the ground probably maybe about a week and a half, maybe 10 days or so, but they're tiny. So we're going to do a double covering on these. Babe, can you look at them and just see if they still okay? They do?
Some are a little bit yellow.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Yep. They're just not as green. That's the cold.
Okay.
Yep. Let's cover them up.
And just show what we did.
Finish doing that one. Okay, y'all. It's cold out here. Very, very cold. So you saw that we had a little light snow covering, probably about an inch or so. So not too bad. The temperature last night, I think, got down to like 25. But for the next 2 to 3 nights, it's going to be between 12 and 14. Yeah, 12, 14 degrees. So because I have some, when I say seedlings, meaning they're not mature, it's the stuff that we planted probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Out here I have some lettuce. I have some lettuce, cabbage, bok choy, and broccoli. That was the last part of our spring planting. They are still tiny. They're not mature yet. And so I was concerned about them not making it with the temperature being 12 and 14 degrees. Once they are more mature, then I'm not as concerned. We've had these temperatures before earlier, I guess last year in December of 2024, or maybe the first part of January. We had these temperatures that low and everything was covered and we did not lose anything except the lettuce. Lettuce is usually only good to like 20 degrees or so when it's mature. So under that, it really struggles. So basically my husband came out here and covered everything about 2 days ago. Like I said, that was fine. But now that it's going to dip down about 10 more degrees to 12 and 14 degrees, we're putting an extra layer on. So 2 layers. And if I had more covers on the stuff that was new, I would do 3 covers to make sure that it stays protected. Now, the tunnel is shut down. Sides are down, doors are closed, so there won't be a lot of wind or any wind getting in here, except maybe just, a little bit where there's a little gap at the bottom. But it will get cold. So right now it is 42 degrees in the tunnel, and I think it's probably, I don't know what it is outside, maybe like 30, something like that. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So let me just show you what all we've done so far. Okay, so this bed right here, it's only covered because we have the spinach in there that was trying to grow, but all the Brussels sprouts and stuff are either out of there or will come out of there. He's getting some of the snow off the top. We put 2 layers here because this is where the newly planted lettuce is in this bed right here. And then we have the kale that's been there for a while. Y'all, this bed here, we planted carrots a couple of weeks ago and I had not seen germination. And I'll tell you about that. But y'all, I just noticed we do have some germination. And so we went ahead and covered this bed here. And then there's 1 layer on here. This is the bok choy. Bok choy is pretty sturdy. This bed right here, we're not covering. It only has this 1 broccoli plant in there. And then the rest are snapdragons, which half of them are already, didn't make it from the last time. And then these 2 rows right here, this row right here has our broccoli. This second row has the collard greens, which the collard greens should be fine. but since we had an extra cover, we went ahead and put it on there. But this is the row that I'm most concerned about, which are these broccoli plants that we just put out there. So I'm hoping that they will do well. We also have 2 layers here. Right here in the middle is where our cabbage is that we newly planted. Everything else in this row is collard greens. The middle row is kale that's been established. And then the very last row is kale and bok choy. So again, if everything was mature, I wouldn't have been as concerned. But because we have some new stuff, I wanted to make sure. Y'all, look at eucalyptus. Standing strong and proud. Like, it will not even be phased by these temperatures whatsoever. It's been through many like this, and of course, it's hard to cover it. You can't cover it. My husband's just getting rid of the snow while we're in here, but y'all, it's cold. We about to take it onto the house where the fire is. But let me tell you about these carrots. So on the carrots, you and I planted those together a couple of weeks ago. Remember, I have lots of carrots in storage, but I kept feeling like the Holy Spirit was impressing me to do more carrots. So I did plant the more carrots, but I did slack in terms of, with carrots, you have to be really up on making sure they're watered until they germinate, because it is hard for them to germinate. Well, any seed is hard to germinate when it's dry, but especially with carrots, they really do better with y'all, this is what we're about to do because it's cold. They really do better with, they really do better with overhead watering when it comes to carrots. So even if I had drip on right now, what I have found in my experience, that drip is usually not good enough to germinate the carrots. They need to be watered overhead and they need to be moist. So what I have done is, typically I water my carrots every single day, and by day 7, I typically have germination, and then I don't have to worry about it as much. Well, with these carrots, they've been in the ground for a couple of weeks. Was it both weeks? I think both weeks I was out of town for like a day here and a day there. So missed it on that. And then 2 weeks ago, it was really, really cold. And so, like, I'm not going to be out here for the next 2 or 3 days because it's cold, and there's really no reason for me to be out here, right? And so there's some days I didn't come out here to water because it was cold. So I slacked. That's my part. But the other days I was out here, I did water. All that I'm saying is this, is that I didn't follow my normal process, and really diligent about watering. And so when I left it 2 or 3 days ago, I'm like, okay, it's been well over 7 days. They haven't germinated. Okay, maybe we'll just start again when the weather warms up. Not gonna worry about it. And then I was out of town and I told my husband to cover everything. I told him not to cover that bed because I'm like, there's no carrots in there. Well, y'all, today when I come out here, on one row, it's all germinated all the way down. God said, you gonna have more carrots. You gonna have some carrots. So the Lord must want us to have more carrots. And so we're gonna take them. But I know for a fact, y'all, when I tell you seeds want to grow, they want to grow. There is always a prescribed way. There is an ideal way. But nothing beats nature and God's way and what he has put life into the seed. And so I do tell you, this is what you should do to get, great germination and all that. And sometimes, again, I don't even follow that just because life starts lifing. But there are times that even when I don't do the part that I'm supposed to do, God steps in and does what only he can do, which he germinated those seeds. And I promise you, if they've been in the ground 14 days, they probably have had water 4 out of those 14 days. That's the honest truth. But yet I have germination. God is amazing. God is faithful. So, and then the other row has I think halfway germination. So we went ahead and put a cover on it. And again, carrots, if they were more mature, I wouldn't be worried about them at all, because carrots are root crops. People actually use carrots in the ground as storage, meaning they just go pull them as they need them, and they can endure really, really low temperatures. But because this is seed and it had not germinated, I'm like, it's probably not going to make it. So we covered it. We're going to see what happens. I already know what's going to happen. They're going to be just fine. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. But I just wanted to kind of take you guys along, because this is real life. Sometimes you don't see this part, that, you know, your plants are almost like your kids sometimes, and you're like, are they gonna be okay? Are they gonna be safe? And so it just kept nagging me, like, just go put an extra row of cover. And I'm like, but I'm so warm in my house, I don't want to come out. But I got my nerve up. My husband's like, you can do it, it's okay, it's not that bad. And so we came out here. Of course, he helped me to put extra cover on the plants. So I don't know where you are and what the weather is like there. And I know some of you, you're like, girl, this is nothing, 12 degrees, that's like our high. I know, but y'all, I'm in Tennessee. It ain't like this all the time. Like next week, it'll be 60. But anyway, I hope that wherever you are, I hope that your gardens are doing very, very well. And I hope that if you have cold or freezing temperatures, that you've taken the necessary precautions to protect your plants. So I'll meet you back out here in a few days in the tunnel, because if nothing else, y'all, we got to start seeds. We got to start our 8-week seeds. So I'll meet you back out here for that, and I'll give you an update on how things fared once the temperatures go back to semi-normal and we don't have, like, you know, 12-degree temperatures and all that good stuff. So remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.